Hello everyone, so today I'm going to talk about the Arrow Academy Blu-ray label. So Arrow, they're a very big physical media label here in the UK. They mostly do cult and horror and independent movies. They have the Arrow Video brand and the Arrow Academy brand. So the Arrow Video brand is mostly the horror films and does definitely seem to be the most popular part of the brand. I actually don't have any of the Arrow Video ones. I actually only have some of the Arrow Academy ones, which is what I'm going to talk about today. And Arrow Academy is mostly classic movies, some lesser known movies, some more mainstream. Arrow have recently announced that they're going to be discontinuing the Arrow Academy brand, which I think is a bit of a shame, but I suppose it's just not as popular as the Arrow Video, so I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. Yesterday I actually picked up the most recent release in the Arrow Academy range, which is a limited edition one, which I will come to. But today I'm just going to be talking through my Arrow Academy collection. I don't have a massive amount, but it's built up quite nicely since I've started collecting them. And what is quite nice about the Arrow Academy range, actually, along with the Arrow Video, is that they have reversible covers. Arrow do their own artwork for the cover of the film, however you can reverse it and you can get the original film poster for that movie. Anyway, I won't say much more, I'm going to get into it. So the Arrow range is not spine numbered, so it's not in any particular order. I just tend to do it in order of the release date really, or order I pick them up. So first of all, start off with this one, which is The Night of the Hunter. So this is actually probably my favourite release so far, certainly my favourite film that I have in the Arrow Academy range. It's a brilliant gothic masterpiece, very dark, brilliant story, excellent lighting. Robert Mitchum gives a brilliant performance as Reverend Harry Powell. This is a must-see film. I will show you the reversible cover. I'll show you what I mean. So obviously we have that, which is Arrow's artwork. You can flip it around and you can see that is the original film poster. I personally prefer the Arrow artwork, but again, you know, it's possible to flip that around if you want to do it. Which is really nice. But anyway, yeah, this film was amazing. Still amazing after all these years. This was I think 1955 it was. Fantastic movie. And next up we have Sullivans Travels. So this stars Joel McCrea and Veronica Lake, and it's very much a comedy film, a bit of a silly film in some ways, but it's a very likeable film with a very nice message. Joel McCrea, he plays this writer, and he wants to make this film about what it is like to be poor, what it's like to be struggling. So he pretends to be a tramp, he pretends to be a homeless man to get that experience of all his life. He eventually realises that people just want films that make them laugh, films to enjoy, films to have some sort of escapism. And it's just a very nice, warm movie, slightly simple, but just an enjoyable film. So this that I have here, this is the only one where I've actually reversed the sleeve. So this is the reversible artwork, because I personally prefer this with Veronica Lake there. But I'll show you again the Arrow artwork, which I actually don't like quite as much, which is there. There we go. Yeah, I just found that a little bit boring. It's a little bit grey and not so nice. I think I prefer the colourful original artwork for it personally. But yeah, I really like this film. I wouldn't say it's one of my favourites, but it's just a very nice movie, pretty harmless. So it is, and directed by Preston Sturges as well. So next up we have The Killers. So this is a film noir, 1940s, Burt Lancaster and Ava Gardner. This is an excellent film actually, one of those films that you have to piece the things together as it goes along. Burt Lancaster and Ava Gardner, they're both brilliant. And the ending is real interesting as well. Actually, I'll show you the reversible artwork again for this. Just take the book out. There you go. Yes, that's very nice as well. I really like that. But yeah, I think yeah, decided to keep the Arrow artwork. Yeah, and as usual, some of these come with books as well. I think really most of them do come with books. Some of these that I have were originally limited edition versions, and the limited edition versions come with books. And then when they release into standard version, they don't come with books. So, yeah, but this one wasn't a limited edition version, just released alone as a standard version, which is very nice. Next up, I have The Killing. So this film was directed by Stanley Kubrick. It was one of Kubrick's earlier films, and this collection actually has two films. It's The Killing and Killer's Kiss. Killer's Kiss, Stanley Kubrick's second film, The Killing, Kubrick's third film, and they're both enjoyable films actually. Killer's Kiss was pretty good, but The Killing I was actually really impressed with. Again, I'll show you the reversible artwork. But yeah, Killer's Kiss, a bit of a film noir, similar to The Killers actually in quite a lot of way. The Killing is more of a crime film. They're trying to get this money from this racetrack. Well, betting on this racetrack. There you go, it's The Killing. Pretty good in all its fury and violence. Yeah, but both good films actually. I'd recommend this this release actually, especially if you like Stanley Kubrick. There is that. I mean, they don't feel exactly like the later Kubrick films, but they're still pretty good, to be honest. I think I enjoy both of them, particularly The Killing. So yeah, there it is, The Killing. Next up, we have Network. So probably from a critical perspective, this is probably one of the best films in Arrow's selection. It's about this TV network who takes advantage of this news anchor who is going to kill himself on air. The news anchor's played by Peter Finch. This film was a great cast as well. Faye Dunaway is excellent in this film. Also William Holden and Robert Duvall. Really excellent movie. Certainly from a, can't think of the correct term really, sort of social relevance, you know, about the media, I suppose. Very interesting film. Basically, a sort of power that the media can have, I suppose. Into that sort of thing. Got a nice book as well. But yeah, certainly an interesting film. Not always the most entertaining film, but definitely from an acting perspective, the characters. I think Faye Dunaway was really good in this film. Probably one of the best performances of her career. Yeah, definitely an interesting watch. If you haven't seen that, I would recommend that. And next up we have The Oxbow Incident. So this film is a western with Henry Fonda. Though I say it's a western, it's not really a traditional western. It's almost more of a courtroom drama which is set outside. It's a film about mob justice, about morality, about mob rule. Well, this mob, they find these group of men who have apparently killed someone, and they try and bring them to justice, you know, by their own means, almost like vigilantes really. Show you the reversible. Oh, this one actually has two discs. This one is actually, it's a Blu-ray and a DVD in this one, which is quite interesting. Comes with a booklet as well. Do hope you're not getting too fed up of me showing the reversible artwork, but it just is, I just think it's really interesting that they do this. It's a bit of a nice addition. But there we go. I can move that. Oh, I haven't moved it out of the way. There you go. So that's a pretty interesting cover, although it does make me laugh sometimes with these old original posters. Sometimes they make the film look slightly different to what the film was actually about, but I suppose it's all to do with advertising. But yeah, but this is a really excellent film. Yeah, not a traditional western. It's not like most other westerns, but you know, it's set in the West basically. It's set in the Wild West. But apart from that, in terms of the storyline and the themes of the film, it isn't like a western at all, but something really different. Yeah, and Henry Fonda's really good. Also got other excellent actors, Dana Andrews, Anthony Quinn, a good cast. Next up we have My Darling Clementines. This is another western, again with Henry Fonda, but this one is a much more typical western. It's actually directed by John Ford as well, who directed many other westerns. Great cast, Linda Darnell, Victor Mature, Walter Brennan, Tim Holt as well. A lot of those sorts of names are from westerns, and I do like the original artwork for this film actually as well, which I'll show you, which is here. Yeah, that's nice. This is an excellent western. quite a simple film in many ways, but well, Henry Fonda, he plays Wyatt Earp. It's about his encounter well at with Doc Holliday, about the gunfight at the OK Corral, which was a true historical event, by the way. There are a few other films which have done this sort of story. I think there was one with Kevin Costner where he played Wyatt Earp. You know, the film isn't entirely historically accurate, obviously, but it still is just an excellent film. And next up, we have The Apartment. So this is another one of my absolute favourites, which is on here. Comedy film directed by Billy Wilder, Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and also Fred MacMurray as well. And yeah, the original poster of this is quite well known, actually. It's quite an interesting poster. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, no, this is a really nice film. It's a very funny film. Excellent characters, excellent script, beautiful story. Quite an iconic ending as well to it. Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of my favourite classic comedy films. I really love this film. And also with this Arrow release, a really good transfer. Almost looks like a new film, to be honest. Although obviously it came out in 1960 and it's black and white. It's just a really good restoration. I really recommend that film. One of my favourites. One of my favourites we have here. Next up, a film called Born Yesterday. This is also a comedy film. It stars William Holden and Judy Holliday. I'll show you it here. The reversible artwork is a bit crazy in this one. Very colourful. Looks very old-fashioned, very old school, but that's what we like, I suppose. There we go. And yeah, I have to admit, this is not one of my favourite films, which is here. I think the film is a little bit predictable in some ways, a little bit cheesy. But it's a likeable film, almost a bit too simple. It reminds me quite a lot of My Fair Lady. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the story of My Fair Lady or the film with Audrey Hepburn. It's certainly about educating this woman. Yeah, and in some ways it is interesting. It's a fun film, just probably not one of my favourites. I thought it was a little bit boring, a bit predictable in some places. But nevertheless, it's a good time for the most part. We're getting towards the end now, guys, so thank you. So next up we have Duck Soup. So this is a Marx Brothers comedy, often thought to be the best and the most famous Marx Brothers films. This contains all four Marx Brothers, Chico, Harpo, Zeppo, and of course Groucho. And yeah, this film is hilarious. This film came out in 1933. I still think it's one of the funniest films I've ever seen. Really is amazing. I find the Marx Brothers style of humour, even with the slapstick and the jokes and the one-liners from Groucho, I think it's absolutely timeless. There is the poster. Yeah, I really like the Marx Brothers, actually. It's very sort of, in some ways, tends to be quite safe, family-friendly type of humour, but at the same, there's plenty of one-liners from Groucho. A lot of the physical side of it comes from Harpo, who is a mute, and Chico is very funny. Zeppo, yeah, he sort of is very good as well. He isn't in all the Marx Brothers films, but he's in this one. He's excellent. And this one has some musical bits as well. So I'd definitely recommend this movie. It's an absolute classic. So next up, we actually have some more Marx Brothers. This one is two films in one, Monkey Business and Horse Feathers. And yeah, like Marx Brothers, a bit like Duck Soup. It's very funny. I wouldn't say either of these are quite as funny as Duck Soup, but they're both still absolutely hilarious. Monkey Business is when they're stuck on a ship. Horse Feathers is when they're trying to get some people together for this football game, or American football game, I suppose. And yeah, they're both very funny films, and actually a bit like Duck Soup. They're pretty short films. I mean, I think Duck Soup is 67 minutes, and these are 78 and 67 minutes. So yeah, they're very short films, Marx Brothers, but they're still just very enjoyable, really good time. I still think the humour is still very funny today, in my opinion. So now we come to the last one. So this was the one that I picked up yesterday, and this is a limited edition one. It's only been released fairly recently. This set, it's called Tales from the Urban Jungle. On the front cover here you can see Burt Lancaster. So limited edition, there's this little slip. Let's take that off for now. And you can see here it's got two films. I'll take them out, I'll show you. So the first film is Brute Force. Now it's worth mentioning both these films were directed by Jules Dassin, who I actually hadn't heard of before, but apparently he was one of those directors who was blacklisted for a while in the, well, 1950s, although both these films came out in the 1940s. So this film, Brute Force, I actually haven't watched either of these films yet, by the way. These are the only ones here that I haven't watched yet. I only bought it up yesterday. I know this has Burt Lancaster in it, also Anne Blythe as well. It's a thriller, I know that. I'm actually not entirely sure what it's about. I believe it's about, well, it says something about Burt Lancaster is a convict who's squeezed into this prison cell, and he needs to return to his wife who has cancer. This is just what I'm reading on the back. It's supposed to be an excellent movie. I've heard of it before, but yeah, and I'm looking forward to watching that. You see inside it. I'll show you the reversible artwork again. This one certainly looks good. So there we go. Brute Force. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this. This looks good. There is another sort of cover I've seen of it with sort of like Burt Lancaster running towards us, but I don't know, that they don't seem to have included that here. Perhaps that's a different poster. But yeah, very sort of dark poster for it. And again, with the dark theme, this film, The Naked City, I think this is more of a mystery film, I believe, possibly a 1940s film noir. Haven't really heard of any of the actors in this one. Barry Fitzgerald and Don Taylor. Don't know if their names I'm familiar with, to be honest. Here we go. Here is the reversible artwork. That's very good. Yeah, I'm interested in this one. I really like the title of this one, The Naked City. It's a very sort of 1940s sounding, mystery thriller type name, and I think, yeah, it certainly sounds good. So I'm hoping I'll enjoy it. And this also comes with a booklet as well. Got Tales from Urban Jungle. Quite a substantial booklet as well. I'll get into reading that at some point and get around to it. So yeah, this is both of these films were actually originally released as standalone versions in the Arrow Academy range, like about 5 years ago or something possibly, and now they're releasing them again, which probably seems a bit cheeky since they're releasing them again, but these are actually new 4K restorations, so they're better restorations, and they're both as a set, which is very nice. Let's put that sleeve back on it. So there we go, Tales from Urban Jungle, Brute Force, and The Naked City. So I'll get into watching those at some point. I think I'll just leave this here. Right, so there we go, guys. So that is my Arrow Academy range. So yes, I do like a lot of films Arrow Academy release. It's a shame they're not going to be releasing anymore. They are still in print, obviously, quite a lot of those, so you can still pick them up on the website or at retail places. So I will definitely pick up some more, even though they're not releasing any new ones. I'm definitely trying. There are definitely some other ones which are in this label and this range which I would like to pick up. So I will definitely do that before they all go out of print. So what do you guys think? Have you guys got any of the Arrow Academy range, or maybe the Arrow Video range? I am hoping to pick up some of the Arrow Video range as well. There are definitely some films there that I like, although I'm not as into the whole indie horror and cult films as some other people are. I prefer the classic type of films that they do here with Arrow Academy. So there we go, guys. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll be making some more videos soon in the future, so please stay tuned. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll catch you all soon. Take care.